What's happening, YouTube? Eugene here. Hope you're doing well. I want to say I hope you're flowing, but I'm not flowing. So if I'm not flowing, I can't expect anyone else to be flowing, but I hope you're flowing regardless. Today I have the best perfume for witches, and I chose this theme because I have noticed that in my own life, I have been attracting very powerful witches into my life. And it's really interesting to watch and observe, and it's almost taken on like this comedic effect. And I want to share a little bit about that with you guys and what I think a witch is. And I have the best perfume for a witch, and I have been writing for about 5 years, meditating for 5 years, doing a lot of introspection, self-reflection, discovery, really discovering this world outside of myself and inside of myself as fully and deeply, and really getting to know the heart, the magic of the heart, the power of the heart, the magic of love, the power of love, and how the heart manifests, and all sorts of, it would take me hours and hours and hours for me to go into everything, but I've been doing a lot of that. And in writing, I have been writing dreams, my goals, my fantasies, beliefs, things that I want to change, and a lot of these have been coming true. A lot of them have been coming true. And in this process, I learned all this from witches, from watching very powerful witches. I've always had really powerful witches in my life to guide me and lead me. And now, like, I've learned that from them. I've learned that, writing from the witches, and I can always tell a witch. Like, I always know a witch, and the witch always knows me, and it's just through eye contact, and we just know. It's like in that moment we know, and she accepts that I know she's a witch, and I'm definitely okay with it. I used to be a witch in my past life billions of years ago, so I know what it feels like to be a witch. It's all very comfortable to me, so when I run into a witch, I know. I run into lots of beautiful women that aren't witches, and sometimes it gets flirty, but for me, it just, like, I know they're not witches and they're not for me, so it stops right there, and I'll just, like, really playfully brush it off and just keep going about, right? Like, I'm not here to waste time. I'm on my own path, I'm on my own mission, and in the meantime, these witches come into my life, and every witch that has come into my life has been for a very different reason, very different purpose, and they're all very different. Some come into my life for 30 seconds and some for 10 years. I've been married to very beautiful, intelligent, loving, supportive witches, and that comes and goes, and we keep continuing with our lives, and that's going to constantly happen, these witches. And the power of the witch that I've learned is, to manifest. And the power of the witch, the witches were persecuted for so many years, and it's not because they were black magic or, witches were spiritual people. They worked with love. They worked with the energies. They worked with natural remedies. They had this tune with the vibrations of the universe. They had deeper feelings. They have profound feelings and emotions, and they have this ability to love and understand on a deeper level. And that's what I've learned most about witches, and that's what they do. Witches go around out into the world putting love, and that's how they heal. I run into so many of them still on TikTok, these beautiful natural witches, and they're unbelievable. They're really amazing. But yeah, and I thought, did I tell you about the witch that brought me this cloak last week? I met a witch, and she brought me this cloak, and she gifted me this cloak, and with this cloak came all the powers of a witch. She anointed me with witch powers, and it's great to feel that again. And it's because she knew I was capable of holding the power of witch. They don't just give those away to anybody, cloaks. You need to be really, really special to get one of these. And I feel really, really special. And yeah, it feels very, the cloak feels very homey. It feels very cozy, and I'll be sure to be giving that back out. That is kind of the deal with being a witch. If you get, if you get touched by a witch, you need to continue touching people with that same beauty. That's the fucking crazy part about witches that are so misunderstood. And people feared them. People feared witches because they were different and misunderstood. And I'm proud to be a witch, and I'm proud to be anointed by the witch and to be supported by the witches at the same time. I see them everywhere. Wherever I go, I see witches, and I know they're my people because I used to be a witch. I know. And in this kind of like witch hunt, I love the witch hunt. I thought, what is the best perfume for witch? And there's only one. It can only be this one. This is Serge Lutens. There could be many, but for me, it's this one. For you, it could be different. I don't know what your favorite witch perfume is, but for me, it's this. Because this is gothic and bewitching and cold. It's so ice cold. It's the coldest perfume I own. It's colder than any Chanel or Guerlain or Vol de Nuit or number 19. It's colder than 19. It's colder than Cristal. It is so bloody cold. It is a white floral, chrysanthemum, violet, lilacs, lilies, tuberose, maybe very white, meaty, plump florals that are ice cold. It feels like if you live in Canada, you know what -40 feels like. It's like going out to the middle of your street holding a white floral bouquet. It's that cold. And then underneath that white floral, you have these green, warm, mossy tones, this undergrowth, this foresty sort of mysterious, let's say on a humid day after it rains, you can feel the warmth come up from the ground and it just fills the air and the air thickens and the air is ripe. That's what you have underneath the white florals here. So this green mossy ripeness, this sort of humid texture. And then right below that, you get your ambers. This is a floral amber perfume, and it is so cold and white floral that the white seeps into the amber accord. Amber, it completely takes away that golden, powdery, rocky, resinous aspects of this, and the whiteness really soaks that up and rounds up all the edges and just gives it more of an earthy tone. So there's a lot of earth elements in here. There's some elements of decay, so there is some ugliness to here. There is some death. There is some morbidness, and that is the beauty of a witch. And this is why I think this is a perfect witch perfume, is because in that decay, in that ugliness, witches are able to observe the beauty in the grand scheme. And not only in perfumes, witches can observe ugly as beauty, not only in perfumes, but within themselves. And that's the magic of a witch. They love all parts of themselves. And when they love all parts of themselves, they love all parts of everything, because you can only not. And that's what I've learned from witches. They are so bloody powerful. Love is the strongest magnetic pull, and that's what witches have, is that pull. They pull and they pull and they pull. They attract, and that's why they're great manifestors. And I told the witch, I looked her right in the eye and I said, you get everything you want. And all she did was smile. And I knew that witches have a superpower. They're not like other people. They're not like everybody else. They're not like everybody else. They're so unique and open. They're so open. They live without fear. There's so much to witches. Oh, witches are amazing. Especially the ones that bake me banana bread. I have witches that just bake me banana bread, and it's amazing. Amazing banana bread. Guys, ice cold. Let me know what you think of the Profundis. It does smell kind of like a funeral. And it's mentholated. I think that's where the coldness comes from, is this overdose of menthylation. Serge is really like that, overdosing their perfumes. This is white, floral, airy, cold and warm. It has that amazing contrast. The balsams, you got a lot of balsams in here. Soft, warm, furry balsam resins. You know, they're not sharp or jagged. Everything is so soft, slightly powdery. There's a slight powder undertone. A little bit of pink, mostly white, mostly green, a touch of pink. Screechy, loud, sharp top. That's what it is. The top is so white floral and sharp and bewitching and mysterious and gothic and sinister. You know, there's that decay. There's that feeling of death. There's the feeling of funeral. But there's also the feeling that no matter what happens, everything will be okay. The Profundis. Everything will be okay. It's so powerful. And that's the poetry of this perfume for me. This is how I see the Profundis. Very bewitching and beautiful and gothic. And not for everybody. This is not for everybody. It takes a witch that is able to love all the deepest parts of themselves to find love in this, because it is strange and unusual, and it will bring up unusual feelings inside of you. Try it. Let us know what you think, or let us know what your favorite witch perfume is. There's got to be so many great ones, so many great gothic dark perfumes, and let us know what you think a witch is. I'd love to know. But anyway, shout outs to all the beautiful witches out there. You're amazing. All of you are amazing. Shout outs to the witches. Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Until then, be well.